definitely be sleep, but lately this job of mine has been stressing me out to the point where I can't sleep properly, unfortunately. So I'm up and I wanted to talk about this. So it's really interesting how when you decide that, you love yourself and you're not gonna just accept just any sort of treatment. You're not gonna let people just treat you any sort of way. You're going to be more conscientious of people's behavior. You're not gonna go for things like lying or this, that, and the third. You realize how you want to be treated and won't settle for something less. It's crazy how when you decide to do all that, you really can end up alone. You can end up lonely. Because one thing that I have really, really noticed is people are really extremely selfish. Like extremely. And if you don't suit their narrative, they'll want nothing to do with you. If they think you do suit their narrative, they will try to use you. And, they only contact you when it's convenient for them or whatever else. They will really just try to treat you however. They don't care. There's no communication. There's no understanding. There's no empathy, sympathy. Really, there's none of that. They decide selfishly how they're going to treat you based on how it serves them, not based on just decency, being a nice or good person, or anything like that. No, it's like people just, they say, all right, how can I use this person? Or it'll be like, I'm bored. I have nothing else to do, I guess. I guess I'll talk to this person. I got a second. People just, they're not going to make time for you. If they have time, they might squeeze you in, but they don't make time. They don't put effort in. They make assumptions about you. And, it's just, you could play into it. You could. But I think that when you love yourself, like when you truly love yourself, you don't even play into it. You don't play these games. You see the games for what they are, and then you just respond accordingly. And when you do that, you tend to not, I don't even necessarily think it's just like a self-love thing. Like, it's also just a being genuine thing. Sometimes I think when you are just your genuine self, people don't like it. No. You know what? I say genuine, but really what I mean is honest. And those can't really, I feel like, be used synonymously. So no, when you're honest, you don't have that many people. Because if there's another thing that I have realized is that people lie. Just, I mean, goodness, the fakeness doesn't surprise me at all that people relationships and stuff like that, because what are they based on? Seriously, like, people show up so fake, so uncaring, so just garbage. It's like, I'm surprised there are any relationships that work based on the way that a lot of people go into them. Seriously, I feel like the foundation has to be terrible. Because how often is it really that two people decide that they care about each other? Because, the thing is, a lot of times a person will decide who they care about or who they don't. And if they don't care about you, a lot of times you can tell. But just because you decide to care about someone, it doesn't mean that they care about you. So someone could, decide that they are romantically interested in someone. And so this is the person that they're going to actually care about. And they're going to this, that, and the third. But that doesn't mean that the other person feels the same way. Even if they entertain that person, it doesn't mean that they feel the same way. They're just going through the motions. So, of course, eventually, things are going to fall through because the foundation was never good. And with how fake people are with each other, it doesn't surprise me. What surprises me is how people have friends, relationships, anything at all. And it makes me question them too. Like, how good is this really? Everything just seems so surface level to me. And I find it ridiculous. Yet more reasons why I just hate it here. I hate it here. People say the world is so beautiful and this, that, and the third. And I'm sure that nature is very beautiful if you go out and see it, But when it comes to people, gosh, I feel like they just ruin everything. The mentality of so many people in this world is just too much for me. I can't take it. I cannot take this fakeness and everything. People just treat me however they want to treat me, whatever. And I just, like I said, I refuse to go along with it. Now, if I went along with it, I might have different results, right? Some may argue that the results are better. I would not. Because I still think any relationships that you gain that is based on lies isn't a relationship worth having. I mean, maybe there are instances where it started off with a lie and then it became genuine. I'm not saying that doesn't happen, that it can't happen, but I think it's rare. And I wouldn't put like a lot of stock into it. But, I don't know. I understand now that life is a game, and it's all about how you decide to play it. But even that in itself is depressing. To me, that mindset sets you up to be fake, which explains the way that most of the world acts. So I get it. But I don't want to subscribe to it personally. I feel like there may come a point where I feel like I have to. I feel forced. But even just the thought of it, I think it's because I go against the grain that I have such a hard time. But like I said, you know, I mean, I feel like not everything that is easy is good. I'll be honest. Not the easiest stuff isn't always the best stuff. And you know, that said, I don't want to put up with it. And it means that if I lose people or if I never get people in the first place, it is what it is. But as I've said before, you know, even though I don't want to I think part of the reason why I feel like legit, it's like who am I putting in effort for? Why? And again, this is part of self-love. I just refuse to give more of myself than is necessary or required or that makes sense. If it doesn't make sense to give more of myself, if I don't think it would even be appreciated, then I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to put the extra effort in. Literally for what? For who? For what? Like, what am I doing it for? It's no real reason to. So, I don't know how people even get the energy to be so fake all the time. Because being fake take too much energy for real. And again, people aren't worth my energy. So, once again, same position. But anyway, let me get off here. I wish I could a few minutes of sleep, but this job really got me twisted.